Let's get it. Shake it like understand who I is. Not that many gon' do it like this. Bob your head, we can hear my shit, but I'm on my shit. I ain't has no chill. I'm who I are. I'm who I is.
Welcome back to another episode of TDG. I am Sean.
And I'm King.
And coming at you guys with another episode. But this episode is, we're going to be looking at some new content. This content is from a content provider, is that what you call it?
Content creator.
Content creator, thank you, called Emily King. She pops up a lot in my feed, a lot. But her content and her opinions are really spot on. And pretty much anyone within the red pill that's typically a female, I'm always sitting here looking like, are they chameleon? Are they just trying to grift? But this chick, I'm just like, I think she's really got her heart into it. But I also got to ask myself, what's her motivation? But at the same time, I am having like an Uncle Ruckus moment when we're watching her movie. I'm like, that white lady sure is beautiful. With her long blonde hair and those blue eyes. So,
you know, they say you have to have allies, though. Maybe she's she's an ally.
Maybe. We'll see. We'll see. But for right now, we'll see.
All right. We'll leave it up to y'all. Y'all let us know if you think she's an ally.
Yeah, put in the comments. 1 for an ally, 2 for an enemy. But before ado is in any way further, we're just going to hop on into it.
Let's get it.
Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. I thought it would be appropriate today to do a top 10 reasons because today is episode 10 of the long format videos on my YouTube channel. And I just want to give a huge thanks to you guys. I just hit 50,000 followers this Memorial Day weekend. And
hey, get our followers up, people.
It's exciting to start building an audience here on this platform. I'm going to do a countdown because I think that number 1 and 2, 3 are like the most significant reasons that I hear for men not approaching. And as you guys listen through these, please, if you have anything to add from your own experiences, please comment. And then also, if you think I'm missing anything or if you don't agree with anything that I say, please leave a comment. I'm always open to hearing from your perspectives because a lot of these, honestly, are just from men that have told me, so from the more information.
See, already to me, it sounds like she's actually going out there and doing a little bit of work.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what men she's talking to, but I'm going to take her at her word. She's going out there and doing work. She isn't just regurgitating what she's heard on the internet. So I'm hoping that it's actually valid stuff. And typically it is. Every time I see her shorts, I'm just like, yes, that's it. What you said right there.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm interested to see what her top 10 things are.
Same here.
Starting with number 10.
Number 10.
And I'm saying this from the perspective of a woman. Meaning the woman, is in a large group of friends. So this is super intimidating for a guy. What women should do is when they're out and about, and if they're with a large group of friends that they come with, that they should allow at some point to separate from the group. And it doesn't mean by herself. It could just be with like one other friend or 2 other friends. So they need to just pull away from the pack a little bit at times to allow space to be approached.
Okay, so first thing that she said, number 10, was that they're in a large group of girls, so guys don't want to come up. What do you think about that one? I've never been off-put by that personally. I'm not saying I'm just be like, ooh, I see the one, and there's 1 out of 10, and I'm just going to go right there when she's with her girls. But I don't see that as a top 10 reason as to why a guy wouldn't. What say you?
I mean, depending on what the rest of her reasons are. I mean, for now, I'll give it to her, but it makes sense. And you know what? This is something refreshing to hear within the Red Pill Manosphere community because I haven't heard any other female creators saying something like this before. This isn't something I haven't thought about. I'm sure it isn't anything that men haven't thought about because we all know that when you're entering into a group of women, there's usually that one friend, that one salty friend, usually the one friend who just doesn't want anyone to win. If she's not going to win, the rest of them are going to win. She's playing the mom. She's playing the mother hen. She's playing the bull in the group, and she's ready to box somebody down,
Can I date your friend?
No, why?
Yeah.
Nani?
What? I don't know, I just feel like he's not good for you.
Are you kidding me?
I don't know.
Why are you making decisions for me? Like, why are you making decisions for me? Like,
because I'm just your best friend, and I just feel like
no,
I
but
have
like,
good
why are you on
decisions.
my ass?
If you don't want me to, okay. But I just feel like
no, but like you should.
I know what's good for
no,
you.
but you shouldn't like dictating what guys want me.
All right, you know what? Okay, I'm just your best friend, and I know what's good for you, and I just feel like he isn't.
Okay, but like, why are you dictating that? Like, why do you have to know? Like, why do you have to?
You know what? I won't dictate it, but it's just whatever.
Oh,
Right, whatever.
It's whatever.
a no then?
You know
No,
what?
it's
just
a
whatever.
yes.
I take it back. I was thinking about a personal example of that happening before, and I do think that, yeah, so I tried it. Here's the thing, it's not intimidating. I tried it. I think that you get a different reaction when they're around a smaller group of their friends versus being in the big group. I don't know if hive mind comes into effect or what it is, but the success rate just doesn't seem as high if you're shooting your shot when they're in a big group versus either by themselves or in a smaller, more intimate setting.
And at the same time, men are hunters. So, you know, we have to divide and conquer. And we wait in the tall grass to strike, you know? So if there's less gazelles in a pack, 2-3 gazelles, we run after them. We pick off the weak one. I mean, that's not always the case, but you get the metaphor I'm trying to say here. So it's easier to pick off one from the group of 2 or 3 than a herd of 10, basically. Because that herd of 10 that herd of 10 is gonna hoof you to death.
Huh.
So
Okay.
yeah, it's smart.
Because I know myself, like, I'm already sort of more of a shyer person, I would say, with people that I don't know. I'm very much not with people that I know, but for total strangers, and if I'm like out and about, and if there was like a big group, like even if I was super interested in somebody, and I know women don't really ever approach, but I'm just thinking like in the mindset of a man, that just would be a huge barrier, is just the intimidating factor of so many eyes being on you, and you're getting like judgment, and you're trying to like make it somewhat obvious that you're only interested in one of the girls out of the group, and that kind of brings along a really tough,
other ones get jealous.
dynamic.
Why don't you like
me? You don't
me?
want to hurt anyone's feelings.
That's a good point.
All right, so on to number 9, looking for signals from a woman. So women, I think,
we talked about that earlier.
Terrible
Choosing signals.
Giving out
okay.
signals. It's already
I thought you
difficult
said
for a man
singles.
to know, if you're interested through signals, without you just coming out and telling him. I think.
Okay, so talk a little bit more about choosing signals. So she just says signals, but I've heard it as choosing signals. What does that mean to you?
All right, so this appears to be like the week of choosing signals, because I had this conversation with a friend of mine just this week, she's a female, about sending choosing signals. Now, basically what choosing signals are is something that women did back in the yesteryears, basically to let a man know that she's interested in him. And we all know that women don't like to make the first move, and they feel it's not feminine to make the first move. That's fine. We have no issue with that at all. What you need to do, though, as a woman, what they would do is, for instance, they would walk past the man and drop her handkerchief. And the man would pick up the handkerchief and hand it back to them. That's the way to open up the lines of communication. That's showing that she's interested in him. Another way you can send a choosing signal is if you are walking over to the man. This is the same example I've given from our other video. So if you saw our other video, same examples. And you can pretend to trip, and you trip into him, and you catch yourself on his arm. Oh, wow, your arm it's so strong.
Yeah.
And then the guy knows, that's his time to put forth the effort to take over the lead. So those are choosing signals. Now, what women do nowadays, they just shoot your look. And you're supposed to know as a man that means come over and talk to me. But the thing is, plenty of guys out there, if this has happened to you guys, put it down in the comments. when a woman has looked at you and you might have gone over there to talk to her and she's like, why are you here? Why are you talking to me? I wasn't looking at you. So that's the thing. Women have to learn how to send definite choosing signals that the guy's going to be able to understand. It means, hey, come over and talk to me. And the guy will come over and talk to you. But some women, they use the cover of being feminine or being a woman and a guy having to make the first move for their actual fear, scarcity, and lack. So all they have to do is just, we talked about this before as well, that women, you have a much higher percentage rate of success when shooting your shot to a man or approaching a man or what have you than it is for vice versa. So your success rate at sending choosing signals will far exceed your, not exceed, but shoot up your results. So it's up to you just to, put a little effort forth and get a little creative.
It's 2023. What's the 2023 equivalent of dropping a handkerchief? Your Birkin bag or your cell phone?
That's it. I mean, it depends on where you're at. Now, the other example I gave was if you're at a bar and you see a guy across the bar you like, get the napkin and just write a smiley face on the napkin and buy him a drink. And when he gets that drink, picks up the napkin and he looks over, or the bartender says, "Who's this from?" That's your cutest. Look at him and do a little something like this. He's gonna come over and say something to you. He's gonna come over and at least thank you for the drink. It's going to happen because you know why? Because we're not like y'all who just take a drink and run. Low blow.
All right.
That a lot of men today actually they desire some of that straightforwardness because there's so much confusion out there and they don't want to make the mistake of thinking that you're interested when you're not.
Absolutely. Hey, look, let me just be honest. I'm in a relationship now, and there was clear choosing signals as to the lady letting me know that she was interested. I ignored all them issues because at the time I wasn't really looking for anything, right? But it was clear and it was evident that she was interested. So much so that when I didn't ask her for her number, she came back and was like, "Hey, so I think that there's an attraction here. What's up?" And I told her, I said, "Hey, look, hey, it was nice meeting you and everything like that. I'm not really looking like that. But am I attracted to you? Hell yeah." That was evident, but she definitely sent choosing signals to let me know that she was inviting and interested in things like that. And it was obvious. Right. You could have been Ray Charles and saw the choosing signals that she was sending. So not getting choosing, it doesn't stop everybody, but in today's Me Too age and things like that, where they talk about clear consent and stuff, I think if you're a logical guy with stuff to lose,
right,
you want to make sure that you're getting clear choosing signals to approach so that people don't throw up the simp wolf whistle and embarrass you because they thought that you were sending a signal when actually you might have just been looking their direction but not really trying to get their attention.
Right. It's very important.
Yep.
And then have there be any kind of negative experience because of that. Number 8, he doesn't want to be labeled as a creep. This is a huge fear that men have.
You can combine 8 and 9.
The worst name that you can call a man, especially a man that is out there trying to date.
A man who's attractive, who does the same thing as a man who's unattractive, which one do you think is called a creep and which one do you think isn't called a creep?
Is the rocker creep if he approaches somebody that didn't really get a choosing signal? Oh, he's such a creep.
Right.
No.
Exactly.
No. Rock's not called a creep.
I think that it is because cancel culture exists and men have seen other men destroyed online for giving a simple glimpse to it.
Yeah, look at all the workout videos out there now. All the girl, well, I think it's kind of died down a bit now. The women are in the gyms, doing their workouts, and they see a guy look over and like, "Oh my God, look at that creep checking me out as I'm working out and filming everyone else in this gym in this skimpy uniform outfit." There's no accountability there. Yep. And that's the thing. We don't want to be labeled creeps when we have a life to live of our own. It's not fair.
And look, we're not disputing that it doesn't happen, right? There are legit creeps out there to the level that they're trying to portray it. No.
Yeah.
But we're not trying to discount or dispute legitimate creeps out there. But just because I come up to you and approach you doesn't automatically make me a creep if you're not attracted to me and you want to try to throw out a stranger danger when all I was trying to do was come up and say, hey, and maybe get to know you if I thought that there was some attraction between us.
Right.
Girl, you know, we've all seen those videos in the gym where a man has literally just like shifted his eyes.
I have not seen this.
We have not watched this video. That's why we reacted like that.
Because, I mean, typically I watch the first minute or two of videos. I did not watch these at all because I went off of her shorts, basically. I knew her shorts were good. And I saw she started putting out long-form content. And I saw the titles. I'm like, these have got to be good.
Yeah. So y'all are getting a straight-up blind reaction and commentary to this video.
Right. And I'm sorry for pausing the video like that with her looking all crazy.
Crazy eyes.
Boop, boop. And all of a sudden, he's getting labeled a creep. It's really unfair. Number 7, he's nervous and he hasn't had enough practice. You know, he might be younger and just
He's number 10. If we're ranking him. If we're ranking
maybe
him.
has had
Probably.
far more experiences online. I think that is more typical, is for people to meet online on dating apps by sliding into DMs. And they're just really lacking the experience and practice of real world one-on-one talking to each other.
Yeah, that's fair.
And, you know, same with women with sending those signals. I think that's probably why
you're so bad at it.
they're so bad at it right now, is because they're so used to guys just kind of sliding into their DMs or
Thank you, Emily.
photo, and that's sort of the cue that he might be interested or that she might be interested. Number 6, he assumes that you are not single. This is especially true, I think, for women that are beautiful. He probably...
Yeah, because that's the thing. I mean, like, sometimes a woman is single, but she'll still lie to you and say she has a boyfriend. So sometimes you kind of have to go in thinking worst case scenario, but hoping for the best. That's just the game we got to play. You know, the odds we got to play.
Yeah. This one I'm not sure about because, look, unless there's a clear like ring on the finger, right? It's pretty much fair game. But you get to know that person and you maybe have a conversation. And look, if it looks like it's clear flirting, and let's say, because like I'm not married, but I'm with somebody, we have a monogamous relationship. If it's clear that there's flirting involved, I'm gonna be like, hey, you know, I got a lady. That way you're setting the expectations pretty early. But that's not going to stop somebody just because, oh, he or she's too pretty that I don't want to go, because clearly they're with somebody. I think that that's a weak excuse that a guy would give in a top 10 scenario.
Okay, but let's think this through, though. Are you allowed to tell the story you told me today about your vacation? Because what I'm getting at, I'm not going to go into the story unless you want to, but what I'm getting at is there are women out there who do have boyfriends, but they tend to not act like they do. And it can put you into a bind.
I want to avoid that crazy.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to avoid that. I've dealt with crazy once in my life, and I think that this person has that. So, yeah, I'd rather avoid that crazy to where, hey, who knows if she finds this channel and then decides to stalk me up.
I wouldn't mind. I saw the pictures. Woo! Stalk me, girl. I got some bushes you can hide behind or in.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're going to keep it moving, though.
Assumes that you're taken, and he prefers to follow the unspoken rule to never try to steal another man's woman, you know, or to like make it awkward. And he
ain't gonna
just
stop
doesn't
Chad.
want to
True.
make a fool of himself. He doesn't want to make you feel awkward. So he would rather just kind of check mark that off and avoid that situation.
She is right.
That she is right. All of these rules go out the window to Chad's. Because let me tell you, I witnessed a guy. I always tell this story. He went up. It was a group of 5 women. He went up to the women and was like, hey, how's it going? To his primary, so to speak. She basically said, I'm not interested. And he goes, okay. looked right to the girl next to her. Hey, babe, how you doing? Just like that. He got that person's number. They met up a day later. He did it right there. I witnessed that in person and was like, if somebody else would have told me this is me when I was 18, if somebody else would have told me, I wouldn't have believed it, but I witnessed it firsthand.
Yeah.
Right? Chads, all of these top 10 as to why men don't approach go out the window because Chads don't care.
Yeah.
Societal norms, rules be damned. It's a straight up numbers game for a lot of them.
Mm-hmm. That's the thing. I mean, when it comes to a Chad, it reminds me of this quote that I heard on Johnny Quest. And it's basically like, it goes like this. You could throw them into a lake of water and they're going to walk out dry. That's just how it is for a Chad, you know. They don't get wet, nothing harms them, you know. Bullets bounce off of them. That's just the luck of the draw, you know.
Teflon Chad.
5 kind of goes along with this. If he feels like you're out of his league, he may really just be protecting himself from the rejection that
calm down,
he already assumes that
so she has to say.
Would receive. And I've heard this from a lot of women that are actually like very super attractive, is that what their experience has been is that they are not approached as often as some of their other female friends. And, you know, that might be because her looks are intimidating. You know, there's like an assumption made there by men that, you know, she's gonna be a little bit harder potentially.
No,
she's on here. I mean, let me sell it to you what she's saying. So we all know that women, they kind of have the right to refuse or approve your approach, right? So with that in mind, when you see a woman, let me put it this way better: 2 girls at the bar. One of them smiling, having a good time, and she's just being bright and lively. The other one just stone-faced. Which one you gonna go for?
The bright and lively one.
Exactly. So that's what she's saying. She's saying the guys who see a girl who looks like a bee, they're not going to approach them. So if you got resting bee face, you're less likely to be approached. A guy's less likely to try to waste his time and break through your armor to figure out what's going on with you and try to get you some of your time. When there's another possible situation who is bright, lively, bubbly, geez, and smiling.
There's a multiverse out there in which I'm a 10 out of 10, right? So in that 10 out of 10 multiverse, I'm not getting approached because I'm the most handsomest of handsome out there, right? I'm so handsome that these ladies just aren't approaching me because I'm just overly too handsome. I don't buy that. Oh, I'm so pretty and fine that people just aren't approaching me. I don't buy it. No, don't buy it. And really also the flip side, in that multiverse where I'm a 10 out of 10, that's exhausting. Oh man, if I was a 10 out of 10 and I'm getting approached all the time, ooh, King, you fine. How you doing? And that happens every time I step out, I'd be exhausted. Yeah. Oh, the approaching of all these women. Oh man, I'm so tired of it. No. I
mean, you're a guy, we're different because we can get a compliment from a lady or whoever it is, or an old lady, young lady, doesn't really matter, and we stick with that compliment for a couple months, maybe a year. You know, we'll just be sitting at our desk and like it'll just hit us like, she said I was a nice guy, and that makes our day. Where a woman, you got to keep on reaffirming to her that, oh, you look nice in that dress. Oh, no, you don't look fat. Or your hair looks great. You know, they get compliments so much and so often that that's just like kind of their lifeblood. But for us, we get that one compliment, we just treasure we treasure it. So
on the description of this video, I'm going to add this clip of content creator Teependale, 6-foot dude, played football. He does pretty funny relationship type content. He talks about how dudes are the one time that a fine person walks by and say, ooh, like you look pretty, and then giving them maybe a second compliment, the moment that she goes away, guys are calling up the boys like, hey dog, hey, let me tell you, man, I'm pulling them, man. You know, and the way he did it made me laugh because I was like, I've done that. I got that one compliment that I've been telling all my uncles, hey y'all, I was at the mall and let me tell you, this one broad came up to me.
And it just lives with you. It follows you.
And your whole day.
Yep. I'm telling you.
You're right. You're right. Hey, we're gonna link that video. You gotta check it out because it is 100% true.
That means you're editing this then.
I got you. I got you on the ad in the description.
Oh damn, that's all I get.
Woo. Okay, we are getting into the big ones now, guys.
Okay.
The top 4. So
That's what she said.
Number 4
Giggity.
is that
Giggity.
it feels like it's inappropriate timing, and he's afraid that he's inconveniencing you. So he doesn't want to be rejected simply because of he's asking you at the wrong time, and he doesn't want you to miss your bus or your ride because he's pulling your attention just to chat with you.
That's fair. That is fair. Have an elevator speech, right? Have a quick something that you could go to that you could draw the attention because look, everybody's busy, right? Unless you're in a social setting, like I hate to use the bar scene every time because it's not just bars that approaches and things can happen.
Right.
But it's one of the best scenarios because people are going there to socialize or meet up with friends or drown their sorrows away. Let's just be honest, right? Now, outside of a bar setting, you're typically doing something. You're with family, you're with friends. You might even just be by yourself.
Yeah.
And to see somebody that you're attracted to go up and maybe strike up a conversation, you don't know how much time that person has. And that might factor into, man, you know what? They seem like they're about to do something. So you know what? I ain't even going to waste my time or hers. So I get that as a top 4 reason.
Right. I mean, I can definitely agree because this happened the other day, matter of fact. I was getting off the metro. I was walking to work. I was still in the station, but I was walking out of the station, basically. And this girl who's walking in the station, we locked eyes. She actually gave me a little bit of a smile. And I was like, oh, that might have been a choosing signal. I wanted to go talk to her, but I was like, no one wants to be late for their train or miss their train, basically. And I was very late for work. So maybe next time, maybe we'll see each other in the metro. And if we do, go ahead, come over and talk to me. Or send me some better choosing signals.
How you doing?
And he doesn't want there to be any kind of negative consequences to talking to you, essentially, because that he would really feel bad about. And it's even if like she rejects him pretty quickly, like he still feels like her having to say one sentence to him is an inconvenience these days. But I think that this is unfortunate. It's unfortunate that because of the culture that we live in now, that everything is so like fast paced that we don't see value in just having some of these conversations that might not be anything in the end. It's conversations that don't mean that like this person's going to turn out to be a good friend of yours. Like you can have a conversation with a stranger and get something from it. Number 3, he's worried about scaring you.
Oh yeah.
All right, this is another item that I think
that kind of goes along with being a read. I kind of put them in the same. So I'm curious what she's going to add to that.
Well, here's my thing. Like, because I talk to a lot of females a lot of time. Oh, sorry, a lot of women. They hate that word now.
What?
Yeah, they can't be called females for some reason. I still haven't gotten an actual reason, but it says it's like derogatory. So
of course it is.
I know. It's just one more thing for them to be upset about. Anyways. Making me lose my train of thought. What was she talking about again?
Being men scaring women and you talking to a friend.
Right. Okay. So I've talked to a lot of women and they're always like, oh, when I go out, I have to worry about not getting murdered or kidnapped or an axe murderer finding me. I'm like, all men are not murderers, axe murderers, kidnappers, and gonna do scary things to you. The majority of us are pretty nice people. And it actually kind of gets me a little upset, a little angry. I'm like, do we walk around saying this about women? That they're whatever besides crazy? But I think it's very disingenuous, though, and it's getting annoying, where that's the narrative, that all men are creepy, all men are bad people.
Culture. Okay. Men are generally very sensitive, I think, to the messages being sent out, especially from strong feminists, explaining to men why women are scared of men. And that even walking by her on the same sidewalk is scary for her.
It is.
It is.
When I'm walking to work, my job's like 2 blocks away from the metro stop. And I'll be walking to work and I'll see a woman coming towards me and we'll make eye contact at about, I don't know, 100 feet away. As she gets closer, face down, doesn't even see me more. This happens so often. It's like, it can't be that there's something so interesting on the floor. They can't even say hello or give a little smile. When I get a smile when I'm walking to work, that kind of makes my day.
Well, I mean, Sean, you're a big black bearded dude.
I guess.
Come on, man.
But I don't. But here's the thing: I dress nice, not super nice. I would think that. All right, you look at the guy like he's dressed nice. He probably isn't like the other people out there. I gotta be careful what I say.
Hey, when you slowed it down, I was like, oh, he almost said so. We almost had to send it,
right? Because there's people out there on my route to work I ain't trying to run into.
Hey, since I've been here at the DMV area, there's a clear difference, I think, culturally where you're at too, right? So down south, which is where I was, you can say born and raised.
On the playground is where I spend most of my days.
When I say down south, like Alabama-ish area, people are a lot more nicer, a lot more friendlier. You'll get a lot more people speaking to you
right
anywhere you go, right? Here in the DMV area, we don't get that's Delaware, or is it DC, Maryland, Virginia?
You live here.
So it is DC, not Delaware?
Yes, it's DC.
Yeah, y'all got it wrong. But in DC, Maryland, Virginia area, people aren't as friendly as, that Southern hospitality, if you will. You don't see that a lot here. I've perfected, since I've lived here, kind of the opposite of where you'll have the lady or the woman or whatnot looking down as she's walking by. I look past them because I don't want to give the wrong thing off. I'm in a t-shirt and shorts for most of my time, but I'm a professional dude, right? But if you see me just out and about, you might not get, oh, this is an upstanding tax-paying citizen, and I've had in the past people feel like you can tell when somebody feels threatened by you.
Right.
It's obvious now as an older guy. We can see that shit. So I've perfected to where I don't even see you. I don't see you, so you don't feel threatened by me.
Not me. I'm like, look at me. Give me a smile. Just damn it. I want to be noticed. I'm a real boy.
How are these men able to approach women at this point if they think that's scary for a woman? If they are thinking, I scare women just by walking by her on the sidewalk.
Okay. It's a different point than the creep one earlier.
He doesn't want to send a woman screaming
the sidewalk. We were just talking
away
about that.
From him. So he's probably going to eliminate the idea of even approaching a woman just to chit chat with her because he's potentially attracted or interested in her.
Good point.
Which I think is, again, it's really unfortunate because it's such a missed opportunity. 2, he has gone his own way and he is not dating. He's done
That's
with
not
dating
me.
right now. He's taken himself out of the dating world.
That was
I
me.
think that this is a fairly decent amount of men. In some way, they've taken them.
I have never quit. I don't know how to quit. Don't even know the meaning of quitting.
To quit for me, it was you know what? I'm gonna take my ball and run. And that's exactly what I did. I simply removed myself from the dating marketplace. But also, too, for me, I had things that I needed to do to work on personally. So it was better for me to take myself off the marketplace. So I wasn't giving my meat away. Shout out to Coach Greg Adams. Money, energy, attention, and time.
Right.
And by taking myself off the market and going my own way, it's short for, there's an abbreviation for MGTOW, men going their own way. I think it allowed me to have a better understanding of myself. And there are some people that fall into the MGTOW monk. I wasn't necessarily a MGTOW monk per se, but I definitely went my own way and just said, you know what? I'm not going to actively be out here dating.
Right. I think you more or less went on a pause or hiatus, though. So, but I think the MGTOW, I don't know, I haven't looked too much into them, but aren't they more or less kind of set in ways like, I'm just done. I'm checked out, not coming back, just going to do my own thing?
Yeah, there's kind of like with most sectors of stuff, there's levels. So like there's MGTOW monk, which they're not even interested in ladies altogether. I wouldn't call them incels, but just if some strange popped up, then they're likely going to give some attention and time into that or whatnot. But they're not going to be cold approaching, or even if they have like a warm lead, like, hey man, so Gabrielle across the street told me that she was, interested in checking you out, but you don't want to seem to approach her like, what's up? You're like, oh, man, I'm over here playing video games after work or whatever. I just throw that, out there. I'm working on my hobbies, which is what you'll hear a lot of guys that go their own way. Just like, look, I'm working, I'm trying to get rich, trying to get out here and get this money. I don't have time for a relationship. I don't have time to be out here dating. After that, I'm getting into my hobbies and things like that. So for those guys, if something pops up along their way, yeah, they'll pursue. But as she's giving her top 10 reasons as to why guys don't, yeah, I think you are seeing bigger sectors of guys that are just saying, I'd rather just go out, go my own way, do whatever I gotta do than to actually take time to pursue and date.
Right. It make other sense.
Out of the playing field, but I do think that some, like the larger group, it's temporary, and then for a smaller group, it's like a forever thing. They just have settled it in their mind that they're good on their own. They're men that have gone their own way. So
MGTOW.
I think that men have experienced being used
a lot,
all too much, and they've like given a lot away within relationships, and
too much.
I don't feel like that they've really received much in return.
Nothing at all.
They've just sort of decided that life is better and more peaceful without trying to find a partner and without finding that long-term relationship.
So sometimes you've got, like I said, you have the MGTOW that are monk, that they're just not really trying to be out there. And then you do have those that if the opportunity comes, they're going to be like.
Those are the Chads.
All right. So this is her last one, right?
I think so. I think it's number one.
What do you think she hasn't said that might be a number one?
I have no idea.
Me neither, but let me see. So you've had going their own way would have been what I thought. Like if you would have asked me a top 10, I would have saved that as my last one. So outside of going their own way, not being labeled a creep or doesn't want to seem threatening, I would say they just don't have the time. Like I would separate that from going their own way, and I say guys just don't have time.
You do know it's nighttime. I told you my brain turns off at about 7 o'clock. So.
Well, let's see what she said.
All right. Number one, I think, is the biggest, largest group of men.
Number one.
He sees that it's not worth it. It won't go anywhere.
Okay.
Right?
Yeah.
These are the men that will not approach women simply because they see it's not
nothing
worth
there.
it. There's too many talking stages and ghosting events that has led to this. This man may still pursue if he gets really strong signals from a woman, or, if she actually approaches him or she initiates in any way, she gives effort back.
Yeah.
But if there's a lack of those two things, this
hit that pause.
Yeah. Well, hold on to your thought. But that actually feeds into what I was saying. It's a combination of, all right, yeah, I don't see getting much out of this, and my time's already. I'd rather be doing something else than pursuing this person.
Right.
So that what I said kind of gels really into what her top point is.
Yeah. And what I was going to say is like, because I'm always currently dating, but so my philosophy now is when I meet someone, typically on a dating app, whatever it is, I'll say, hey, let's meet, let's have a drink, let's get to know each other, and we'll try to set up a date. And then usually, like, I'd say 7 times out of 10, oh, something came up, or I can't do it that day, could do it another day. I'm like, sure, let me know what day works for you then. I leave it in their court.
Yep. Hey, ball's in your court now. I led, I picked something.
Yep.
You had something come up. I get it. We're all busy people. All right. Let me know what day works for you. I'm going to tell you 8 out of 10 times that I've done that, Never heard nothing back.
Yep, that's basically where I'm at too. But the thing is with that is, since I put the ball in their court, I lost my train of thought. God dang it.
You're talking about time.
I don't know. It might come back to me. Who knows?
I thought you was on it, man.
Yeah, I was.
That's on me. I apologize,
It's
Sean.
okay. I forgive you.
All right.
Forgive you, brother.
Yay.
Let's see what else she's got to say.
Will just not believe that giving in all of the effort will be worth it.
Is it coming
Some of
back
these
now?
men will end up, I think, in that category too that I just talked about with men going their own way. I think that they will end up in that category if they get involved with too many of the wrong women. But that this larger group of men that don't end up progressing to level 2, like they're just waiting. They're waiting for the right woman to put herself.
Not waiting for the right woman to put themselves out there. If you're smart, you're building your life up. You're building your value up, right? And you attract what you attract.
Right.
Simply put. So I would say that they're waiting for the right woman, but
did you say the white woman?
The white woman. Maybe I did.
I think she got a boyfriend.
They're not waiting for the right woman. I have to emphasize it. They're building their value, and if somebody comes up that presents themselves worthy of their time, right? I chose my words very carefully on that. Then they will give that person the time of day.
Right.
I think we're seeing a lot more men understanding this because we have these talking stages and things like that. We're trying to educate people. Look, too many people think that they're like this premium version. I always say that there's low quality, average, and then high quality, right? Most people sit in that bell curve of average, and there's nothing wrong with that. To me, there's nothing wrong with that. If you sit in that average range, you're doing great at life, right? Too many people want to put themselves into I'm a high quality person, so I should only be with high quality people, but they're misranging where they sit at. Okay, so what Sean and I always talk about is if you're a guy that's severely overweight and you're broke, staying in your mama's basement and things like that, you're already putting yourself in a low quality tier. So don't be surprised if you're not getting things at a certain level because of what you do or don't have.
Right.
And then on the opposite side of that, you got these ladies that want to be 5'8", 220 pounds and and say to themselves and to the world that they're 9s and 10s when, like Kevin Samuels said about somebody, is you should be hitting the A gap like Emmitt Smith, because Emmitt Smith was your height and build. So her top 10 points are all valid points as to why guys aren't approaching.
Right.
So if you're a lady that wants to say, well, how can I make myself approachable? Pay attention to the climate, okay? See what's out there. Sean and I talked about, and actually mainly Sean had a great point. Put yourselves out there. You give the choosing signal. Write the note on the napkin and slide it.
Just a smiley face.
You know,
if you're not creative and put a note on there, write a smiley face.
Yep. I had somebody buy me a cookie.
With a chocolate chip?
Buy me a cookie. It was a peanut butter cookie. And it was a peanut butter cookie, and it was warm.
Ooh, warm cookies. Okay.
And they came down and said, hey, are you allergic to peanut butter? I said, nope. Said, would you like a warm peanut butter cookie? I said, are you paying for it? She said, yes. And then she said, I'm trying to find a reason to sit down and talk with you. I said, I'll just give you a hard time. Yeah, have a seat. And we exchanged numbers, but before that, I didn't even see her because I was engrossed in what I was doing at the time. But yeah, somebody, that was her way of introducing herself.
Right.
She came up and bought me a peanut butter cookie, and we sat down and had a nice conversation. Went on a couple of dates, but it was temporary.
So, you know what? If women want to win, here's the formula that's going to, let them win. Lower your standards back to earth, and pick a guy that, is going to actually work for you. You don't need a 10. Pick an average guy. You'll be so much happier with an average guy. you can even bump them up an extra point or two. You can go for that and probably still be okay. But you don't need that 10, because if you go after that 10, everyone else going after that 10. And we know the girls, they don't care about taking used goods. They'll take your man and be like, well, I got your man now. Whereas most guys, we're not going to want to. A guy may sleep with your girlfriend, but he's not going to want to be with your girlfriend. Whereas a girl, she'll take your man and stay with your man and figure she won.
Yep.
So if you have all the same hive mind frame or mindset going after the same top 10% of dudes, then the way to win is just be realistic in your wants and bring your ratings down. Not ratings. Bring your
standards.
Yeah, just bring your standards down. Simple.
Do you remember the point?
No.
Dang it.
It's gone.
All right.
Out there, they're waiting for some of that effort back. And I don't think for most of them, I don't even think that it needs to be 50-50, which is what would be fair, right? But I think for most men, like, they'll say that even if they get 20% effort back for what they give, like, they appreciate that. And that is their signal that they can put more in, that they're safe, you know, that they're not going to be used, because that is a sign she has invested some amount. So let me know what you guys think. Do you think that these are the top 10 reasons? What am I missing? Let me know in the comments, and I will see you next week.
Okay.
All right, so that was Emily King, I think her name is. Emily something. I don't know. Maybe it's Emily Watson. I don't know. I got to look it back up. But like I said, she's got some great comments, great commentary, great opinions, great thoughts. Just hoping she doesn't turn out to be a chameleon.
I've seen her short form stuff. Her short form stuff goes straight to the point. I think so. Short form and long form content's two completely different beasts. I believe her content in long form is salient enough that she can get people to follow and listen and pay attention. But her audience, I think, I'd love to know what her audience is, because it's the ladies that actually need to. Because I mean, I bet it's dudes that follow, and you know, because she's she's seen as an ally or a champion for guys, and she's also good on the eyes, right? You know, so
natural.
Yes, and hey, look, ladies, natural. All right. And you know what? Don't say that. Not gonna say that because I don't want the asteroid to come down and get
wrong screen. We got to
I realized that. Yeah. So y'all tell us what y'all thought. What did y'all think about her 10 points? What did y'all think about our commentary based on what she said? Was there something in her top 10 that didn't make it that you felt as though should be one of the top 10 reasons why guys aren't approaching ladies in the modern day? Put it in the comment section. Let us know.
Yeah. And don't forget, go ahead and hit the subscribe button and like, and go check out her channel as well. Make sure you subscribe. We're gonna be reacting to a little bit more of her content as well. So stay tuned and keep being a man.
Peace.
Let's get it. Shake it like understand who I is. Not that many gon' do it like this. Bob your head, we can hit my shit, but I'm on my shit. I ain't have no chill. I'm who I are, I'm who I is. Taylor Susan, I play the part. Buckify, how you mesmerize. Black Austin Pies, man of the eye. I'm stupid, then again, oh so clever. On my loony, pour that lever. Talk my shit, I'm talking hella flow, baby. You